Like we have a quorum on the call, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. For those of you who don't know me, I'm LaDawn Sperling, and I am Vice Chair of the State Housing Board. We will start with roll call. Nancy Jackson.
I'm here.
Ryan Jones.
Present.
Anthea Martin. Anthea was here.
I am here.
James Martinez.
Here.
J. Ryan Moses.
Here.
Candace Payne.
I'm here. Thank you.
I'm here, and Monique Terpstra.
She is not present, but I have her proxy.
Excellent. Thanks, James. Okay, so we will move to approving the February 2025 meeting votes.
So moved. James?
That was James. Do we have a second?
This is Ryan Moses. I second it.
Thanks. All in favor say aye or raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, our meeting votes are approved from February. So now we will turn it over to Allison George, who is the Division of Housing Director, for her comments.
Thank you, LaDawn. Appreciate that. And thank you all for being here today. Before I go into my updates, I first want to welcome Ryan Hibbard Jones. I know he was part of the roll call, and that's for good reason. He is our newest State Housing Board member representing Congressional District 2. So welcome, Ryan. Absolutely. So he is the president of RCH Jones Consulting. I'm sure that you all recognize him because he has come to the State Housing Board before. So he is well aware of our work and the impact that the State Housing Board has in our state. So very excited to have him. He specializes in providing complete financial underwriting and development advisement services for developers and investors in affordable housing across Colorado and nationally, actually. Ryan will be replacing Sam Betters, whose term expired January 31st. And just as a reminder to all of you, Sam now actually resides in District 4 because of redistricting. So he was no longer eligible for reappointment for District 2. So Ryan is ideal for this replacement. Excited to have him because of his understanding of housing finance and development and his role as a consultant for over 2 decades in this work. So very excited to have him. So please join me in welcoming Ryan. And I think I heard someone's hand. Very good. Thank you, Nancy. Ryan, do you want to say hello?
I know it's just an honor to be here and hopefully be able to help out where I can.
Absolutely. Well, welcome. We're very happy to have you. So now we do have a lot to get through today. So I want to start with some quick updates and reminders. First off, in April, that is when we do our elections for chair and co-chair. So annually, according to your State Housing Board rules, we do at our first regular April meeting, the State Housing Board elects its chair and its vice chair through a majority vote of the members present. So please keep that in mind. The newly elected officers will take their roles immediately after the election and serve for 1 year or until the following April, whichever comes first. The election process, there will be nominations. A board member must be present to be nominated, chair or vice chair. And actually, I don't know that I have that right about being present, but I think that would be a good practice. And then the nominations must be seconded by a different board member. Once nominations are finalized, voting for all present board members will have the opportunity to vote on the leadership for the board. You just get one vote and must vote for yourself. No proxy voting. So that won't be allowed for this particular thing. The results, the nominee who receives the majority of votes from the member present is elected and takes office immediately. This election will take place during the next State Housing Board meeting, which is Tuesday, April 8th. I also want to note that we actually will have a second meeting, April 22nd, where the State Housing Board will consider as the approving authority information concerning building codes and standards administrative rules. This is a responsibility as a State Housing Board. DOH then expects to have only one meeting in the months of May and June, both of which are already scheduled and should be on your calendars. Are there any questions about that? Okay, well, let's go on to all the things that are happening around us in our world today, in both the state and nationally. Now for local government and federal funding updates, I want to highlight that yesterday, Governor Polis shared some local government funding, federal funding, and legal impacts that I'd also like to share with you. So with that, Teresa, could you actually put the link to his public notice so that everyone has that as well? But this is what I'll be touching on. If you could put that in the chat, I'd appreciate it. So yesterday morning, Governor Polis shared these updates. There are several ongoing lawsuits. And in this notice, you'll actually get a link to all of the lawsuits and executive orders that may impact federal funding and local government operations. Some key highlights that he presented were the National Council of Nonprofits versus the U.S. Office of Management and Budget. This lawsuit challenges a memo from the OMB that froze federal funds. Also, New York versus Trump provides legal action brought about by 22 states and the District of Columbia to block policy temporarily freezing federal agencies' activities. An important one to note. Then the National Association of Diversity Officers in Higher Education versus Trump. This discusses legal challenges to the termination of DEI programs and contracts. There will be a link in that document that can provide you with all the different legal challenges that are currently happening. There are also several executive orders that have significant implications for local governments and states, particularly regarding funding policies and federal contracts. For additional information on the executive orders, you can also reference the NLC dashboard. So those are also provided in links. And so some of these executive orders include unleashing American energy, ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing, regulating freeze pending review, putting America first in international environmental agreements, America first trade policy, initial rescissions of harmful executive orders and actions, counsel to assess Federal Emergency Management Agency, delivering emergency price relief for American families in defeating the cost of living. So you can also submit questions or concerns to Senator Hickenlooper as well. And that is also referenced in this notice that Governor Polis provided. I also wanted to highlight that I will actually be in DC next week. And so I will be advocating for housing programs as the director for housing for the state of Colorado. And so that will be happening next Monday and Tuesday. I'll be attending the COSTA conference with several other DOH and DLG employees. And so excited to represent Colorado and also excited to represent the important impact that housing programs have throughout Colorado. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions for Allison? We're letting you off easy today, Allison.
Thank you all. And
Okay.
welcome, Ryan.
Yes, welcome, Ryan. Okay, we will move on to our agenda, which is the homeownership application matrix. And I'm turning it over to Brittany Bell.
Thank you, LaDawn. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be able to present these applications to you all today for the DPA SFO round that was just recently completed. I'm Brittany Bell, asset manager with the homeownership team. I've been with the state for just under 3 years and the homeownership team for about 9 months. The homeownership team, just to give a little background, manages executed homeownership contracts, which includes the 2 programs we'll be discussing today, which are DPA or down payment assistance and SFOO or single family owner occupied rehab. The funding for this DPA and SFOO application cycle comes from Proposition 123. And just to give a little background on Prop 123, it can only be allocated in areas where that have opted into Proposition 123 and cannot be allocated to areas that have not yet opted in. In this round, we received 3 fully completed applications totaling $1.3 million in requested funding for DPA and SFO assistance. $5 million was available to award, so we will be opening another round of applications in May 2025 to expend the remaining $3.7 million. City of Longmont and Yampa Valley Housing Authority both applied for down payment assistance funds, and the City of Pueblo applied for single family owner occupied rehab funds. Historically, in the last year, we've funded about 177 DPA loans and 68 SFO loans. That's really kind of the breakdown. We've got these 3 great applications coming forward today. And I'll open it up to any questions. We have folks from each of these agencies on the call, as well as asset managers available to answer any questions.
Great. Do we have any questions from the board members? It doesn't look like we have any. So Brittany, do you need us to vote on this?
I believe we do need a vote, yes.
Yes, we do, LaDawn.
Okay, thank you.
This is Candace. I'd make a motion to approve the funding request for these 3 projects.
It's Nancy. I'll second that.
Fantastic. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you all.
And, oh, that is everything on the agenda. I was just looking back at the agenda. Well, thank you, everyone. Record short meeting. And this meeting's adjourned. See you next month.
Thank you, LaDawn.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Aye.
Aye.